Tonight's headlines. Inspectors report spells trouble for U.S. war plan. Violence and protest aimed at U.S. bills in Europe and elsewhere. Ridge now says, hold the duct tape. Also tonight, can a world built on fantasy keep reality out? A report on security at America's big vacation destinations. A Friday consumer alert. Her so-called affordable mortgage wound up costing her a fortune. And the last laugh, a different perspective on the news of the week.
This is the CBS Evening News with Dan Rather reporting from CBS News headquarters in New York.
Good evening. The chief United Nations armed inspector reported to the Security Council today on the progress of his work in Iraq. He offered little support for military action against Saddam Hussein, pressing instead for more inspections. So tonight, the policy gap between the United States and other key Security Council members appears wider than ever, and the likelihood grows of a U.S.-led war without UN approval. John Roberts is at the United Nations. John?
Dan, the U.S. was expecting a bad day at the United Nations, and it was. Instead of advancing its case for war against Iraq, the White House may have wound up losing ground. The U.S. did not get the stinging indictment of Saddam it had wanted. Chief Weapons Inspector Hans Blix noted new moves toward cooperation by Iraq, including commissions to hunt for banned weapons, allowing private interviews with scientists, flights of surveillance aircraft, and providing new documents on chemical and biological weapons. He also pointed to many unanswered questions about Iraq's weapons program, the need for better Iraqi cooperation, and said Iraq had produced at least one type of illegal missile. But Blix took issue with Colin Powell's claim last week Iraq was playing hide-and-seek with weapons. He said there was no evidence Iraq knew in advance of any inspections, and cast doubt on satellite evidence Powell said proved Iraq was clearing out bunkers.
The two satellite images of the site were taken several weeks apart. The reported movement of munitions at the site could just as easily have been a routine activity.
The report only seemed to cement the split at the Security Council. 11 nations now want to give inspections more time. Only 4 want the game declared over.
Je vous remercie, Monsieur le Président.
In a moment unheard of at the Security Council, France drew applause for its anti-war statement. But it was the dismissal of a tie between Saddam and al-Qaeda that really got under Powell's skin and provoked a sharp response to France's proposal to put more inspectors in Iraq.
More inspectors, sorry, it's not the answer. We need is immediate cooperation.
France wants to continue inspections through at least March 14th, a move that would begin to jeopardize the U.S. military's optimum schedule for war. Powell, clearly outnumbered, declared the council is falling for Saddam's old tricks and warned this can't be strung out forever.
There are so many of you who would rather not have to face this issue, but it's an issue that must be faced.
Despite the opposition, the White House still plans to press ahead with a second United Nations resolution authorizing force against Iraq, though now perhaps not until later next week at the earliest. White House officials tell CBS News tonight they have no hope that France will support it. The question is, will France veto it? Dan?
John Roberts reporting live tonight from the United Nations. Thanks. Closely followed as it was in Washington and around the world, the Security Council session had no impact on the U.S. military buildup for war. And as David Martin reports, neither did the efforts of anti-war protesters in Europe.
In Belgium, the crew of a merchant vessel loading American military equipment bound for Turkey had to use fire hoses when local police did nothing to stop demonstrators spray painting anti-war slogans. And in Austria, the government has refused to let the U.S. use its rail system to move war gear from bases in Germany down to ports in Italy. In Turkey, the parliament is supposed to vote Tuesday on allowing the U.S. to bring in 40,000 troops to open up a northern front against Iraq. But the ruling party is making no promises that will happen. A delay or denial of basing U.S. troops in Turkey would cause major problems for the American battle plan.
U.S. officials insist there's no change in their determination to disarm Saddam Hussein by force if necessary. But they admit anti-war sentiment, both at the UN and in the streets, is throwing sand in the gears of the march toward war.
Large and small, the American preparations for war continue, with the 101st Airborne Division loading still more equipment aboard ships in Jacksonville, Florida, while SUVs carrying U.S. Special Forces crossed the border from Turkey into northern Iraq. But in Australia, which is sending troops to fight alongside Americans, the city of Melbourne today saw one of the largest anti-war demonstrations since Vietnam, when an estimated 100,000 people turned out to say American might does not make right. David Martin, CBS News, the Pentagon.
Inside Iraq today, UN inspectors surveyed a chemical warfare training facility run by the Iraqi army, and Saddam belatedly took more steps trying to head off, or at least put off, a military showdown with the U.S. But the threat of war hangs heavy over the Iraqi people, as CBS's Mark Phillips reports from Baghdad.
The Iraqis were being prepared for the worst as they attended prayers this morning in advance of the UN session. These were not prayers for peace. Instead, the mullah pulled a sword out of his robes, brandished it before the faithful, and told them they were surrounded by the enemy. Defend your homes, he said. As they cheered, Saddam Hussein was taking care of some last-minute business. He issued a decree, demanded long ago by the UN, and actually outlawed all weapons of mass destruction. It's a legal ban not likely to satisfy those who think he still has them. The patriotic song which followed the proclamation says, "Saddam is obeyed. We will protect Iraq and win the struggle." And the Iraqis continued their diplomatic struggle in Rome, where Deputy Prime Minister Tariq Aziz met with the Pope.
God bless Iraq.
The Pope urged Iraq to cooperate more with the UN. Aziz promised they would. But the Iraqi charm offensive stopped short of dealing with questions from Israeli reporters.
Are you considering any kind of attack as a possibility against Israel?
When I came to this press conference, it was not in my agenda to answer questions by the Israeli media. Sorry.
For the Iraqis, this day at the UN was not as bad as it could have been. There was enough progress reported to keep the French, the Germans, and the Russians on the side of inspections and not war for now. And anything that makes a new UN go-to-war resolution less likely is seen here as a good thing. Mark Phillips, CBS News, Baghdad.
In the battle against Osama bin Laden-inspired terror, the alert status in this country has been orange, the second highest level, for 1 week now. Homeland Security officials say this is based on no single factor or tip. And as CBS's Jim Stewart reports, they tried today to calm an ever more worried public, even adjusting, if not reversing, official guidance about duct tape.
Having brought the national pot to a boil, Homeland Security Secretary Tom Ridge today sought to dial things back to a steady simmer, urging Americans not to overreact to the heightened security alert.
We do not want individuals or families to start sealing their doors or their windows.
Nor, said Ridge, did the government have any plans to go to red alert, meaning that an attack was imminent.
We have not received any additional intelligence that would lead us to either raise or lower the threat level at this time.
Across the intelligence and law enforcement communities today, analysts were trying to sort out a steady stream of clues suggesting that al-Qaeda has issued attack orders for what could be a two-pronged strike, one aimed at U.S. forces in the Arabian theater and another possibly simultaneous attack at a target on the U.S. East Coast. The analysts seem most focused on the activities of this man, Khalid Sheikh Mohammed, who already has overseen attacks on U.S. embassies in Africa, the bombing of the USS Cole, and had overall command of the 9/11 attacks. Mohammed, arguably the second most powerful man in al-Qaeda now behind Osama bin Laden, has been actively recruiting for al-Qaeda over the past year, analysts say, and is believed to have personally signed off on the future attacks. The FBI's role in assessing those threats got a vote of confidence today from President Bush, who visited the Bureau for a much-needed pep talk.
This agency now understands that we're at war.
The president also outlined more of his plan to combine large parts of the Bureau with the CIA under Director George Tenet and form a powerful new analytical office. Up to 1,200 FBI agents could eventually be transferred. The FBI insists this is not a loss of authority for itself, but rather a fusion of resources with the CIA. But in the long-standing debate between the two agencies over who's better suited to chase terrorists, cops or spies, the president clearly has come down on the side of the spies. Jim Stewart, CBS News, Washington.
Every year, millions of people try to leave the troubles of the world behind them, at least for a while, and go to magical lands named Disney. Founder Walt himself once said, "I don't want the public to see the world they live in while they're in the park." But CBS's Bobby Harley reports in tonight's Eye on America, the world of reality is creeping in to the world of fantasy.
The terror threat may be code orange. Good to see ya. But on Main Street, USA, the parade goes on.
I think this is fantasy land. I think this is where you come to get away from all of that.
Disney's Magic Kingdom in Orlando may be the national capital of fantasy, but even here, it's hard to forget the threat.
I think it's in the back of my mind everywhere that I go, but it's probably elevated coming to a place that's as public as Disney World is.
Security here is tight.
Open it, please.
The number of uniformed guards has risen with the level of threat. Cameras are in place, but with the possibilities for undercover work here, well, almost limitless, the illusion of a carefree vacation getaway is also safely in place.
Do you feel a heightened sense of security here at all?
No. Seems pretty normal.
Maintaining that appearance of normalcy is crucial in this part of Florida, with its 47 square miles of theme parks. This city leads the nation in the number of conventions, trade shows, and meetings held each year here. And that adds up to 40 million visitors.
And we have to look at safety and security measures in a very different way.
That reality, says Orlando Mayor Glenda Hood, gives her city an added responsibility.
And because of the kinds of businesses that are here, those American icons that are here, and people coming here on a regular basis, that we absolutely have to continue to be more vigilant.
Central Florida is as posed and ready to respond to any threat as any community in the United States of America.
Heightened security plans have been in the works for more than a year. The challenge comes in balancing fantasy with hard reality.
Life appears as normal.
Yes, and do we really want it any other way?
Especially in a place where elephants can fly. In Orlando, I'm Bobby Harley for Eye on America.
In the murder by Mercedes case in Texas, the jury that found Clara Harris guilty of murdering her cheating husband by running him over has now decided her punishment. She slumped over as the jury sentenced her to 20 years in prison. Harris is 45. Today would have been her 11th wedding anniversary. Still ahead on the CBS Evening News, Consumer Alert. How could an affordable home mortgage loan possibly be such a bad deal? Just listen to her story next.
Imagine if nature stopped working. Well, that's what it's like when Raymond's constipated. That's why I give him Phillips. It works like nature intended. It's gentle and stimulant-free. Unlike other overnight laxatives that contain stimulants, Phillips is different. It helps his body work more naturally to relieve constipation so comfortably he feels like his natural self. Also try new great-tasting Phillips French Vanilla. Phillips, the comfortable way.
If you've had a heart attack or a stroke, the last thing you need is another one sneaking up on you. After all, you've got better things to do. I know. In my case, I had a heart attack. Then I heard about Plavix, so I asked my doctor. He told me Plavix is a prescription pill that can help protect you from a heart attack or a stroke if you've recently had one. Or if you have poor circulation in the legs causing pain.
Plavix is proven to help keep blood platelets from sticking together and forming clots, which helps keep your blood flowing. This can help protect you from another heart attack or stroke. If you have a medical condition that is causing bleeding, such as a stomach ulcer, you should not use Plavix. Side effects include itching, rash, diarrhea, and bruising. Additional rare but serious side effects could occur. Ask your doctor.
Taking Plavix once a day helps protect me.
Find out if Plavix can help protect you from another heart attack or stroke.
I used to get so many financial statements each month. Bank statements, stocks, 401ks.
Yeah.
Too much.
And now?
I've got one team of Merrill Lynch financial advisors working beyond stocks.
For instance?
Investments, mortgages, even cash management. One strong perspective. So I can relax. Which isn't easy for me.
Introducing Total Merrill. We see your financial life in total.
When dry, itchy skin is unbearable, where do you go for relief? Introducing Lanacane Body Lotion. So effective, it's in the itch care aisle. It's medicated to relieve the cause of dry, itchy skin. Combined with skin-soothing vitamins, this is the Lanacane for all over the body. It helps heal itch-causing dryness, bringing relief that lasts and lasts, even through a long winter's nap. Lanacane Body Lotion. So effective, it's in the itch care aisle.
On the CBS Market Watch, the struggling manufacturing sector of the economy has staged a big rally. Production by U.S. industries in January was up a solid 0.7%. Whether such news continues, it gave Wall Street a boost today. The Dow posted a triple-digit gain and helped snap a 4-week losing streak. Buying a home is the biggest investment most Americans will ever make. But in some cases, a great deal on a home mortgage loan can still wind up costing a great deal, even for those who buy low and sell high. CBS News correspondent John Blackstone investigated for CBS's Friday Consumer Alert.
For single mother Melinda Howell, the struggle to buy a house in high-priced Pleasanton, California ended when the city's affordable housing program came up with a special loan to help with the down payment.
I wasn't given a clue that this might not be a good thing to do.
She borrowed $30,000 in what is called a shared appreciation mortgage. There were no interest payments, but when the house she bought for $223,000 sold for $385 4 years later, the affordable housing lenders got a big payoff, 60% of the appreciation.
And they made $97,000.
For loaning you $30,000?
For loaning me $30,000. That's why I say I would have been better off to put it on my MasterCard.
Howell says she knew the 60% equity share was in the fine print, but believed there was a cap on the cost. By law, mortgage lenders must usually disclose the total cost of borrowing, but shared appreciation mortgages escape those rules. There's no limit to how much a bank can profit.
I sign all these deals, but I don't do all these deals.
Clark Blaisdell, president of nonprofit North Bay Family Homes, put together the very profitable shared appreciation deal that left Melinda Howell feeling cheated. Is it appropriate for someone to pay $97,000 to borrow $30,000 for 4 years?
I think it's appropriate to help people buy their first home if they have no other means.
This is a new scam being foisted on American homeowners.
Michael Shea's organization, Acorn, represents low-income home buyers.
What it amounts to is a new version of sharecropping, where instead of the farmer or the landowner taking a portion of the farmer's crops, we have lenders now taking a portion of homeowners' equity.
The equity Melinda Howell lost left her unable to buy another house.
If I had gotten a lot of that back, I wouldn't be living on the edge anymore.
She's moved from California to Oregon in search of affordable housing, and now realizes that what she thought was a helping hand was actually reaching deep into her pocket. John Blackstone, CBS News, Bend, Oregon.
You're watching the CBS Evening News, and up next, the day Mission Control struggled for emotional control, seeking contact with the suddenly silent shuttle Columbia. The videotapes next.
Have you made the move to Allegra for your seasonal allergies? Doesn't sound like it. Allegra for multi-symptom relief. See your doctor for people 12 and over. Side effects are low and may include headache, cold, or back pain. Allegra, it's time to switch.
It's LensCrafters' best $99 offer ever. Right now, get a complete pair of glasses with DuraLens, our most scratch-resistant plastic lens for only $99. The $99 DuraLens event. This is one you don't want to miss.
Hurry, offer ends February 22nd.
Did you know a denture adhesive can do more than hold?
I never knew until I tried new Fix It and Complete. It actually helps prevent bad breath.
Now, I get a much better fit.
Introducing Fix It and Complete, the strong hold you expect, plus 4 things you didn't. Fresher breath, fewer stains, less soreness, and a better fit.
It helps prevent stains, so my smile always looks great.
It even reduces gum soreness.
Get new Fix It and Complete, and forget it.
Gotta go right now. Gotta go right now. Gotta go.
I have to go now. Sorry.
If you've always got to go, ask your doctor about Detrol LA.
It's been proven effective for overactive bladder.
You need to go?
Not right now.
You shouldn't take it if you have stomach, urinary, or glaucoma problems. The most common side effects are dry mouth, constipation, abdominal pain, and headache.
And I don't have to go right now.
Detrol LA, when you've always got to go.
I've always talked fast.
Ooh, give me 55, come on, 25, come on, I'll give you one, 225.
The chemo slowed me right down. For the first time ever, I was too tired to work.
If you're on chemo and feel tired, you may be anemic.
Time to go, Charlie.
Talk to your doctor about Procrit. For chemotherapy-related anemia in patients with most kinds of cancer, Procrit can help you regain red blood cells, and more red blood cells can mean more strength.
Okay, folks, I'm back.
Procrit is proven and safe. In studies, only diarrhea and edema occurred more often with Procrit than placebo.
In this business, you gotta be fast.
Escalade ESV, the biggest of the breed. Cadillac, breakthrough.
Yes! Are the GIs we sent to the Gulf battle-ready enough to survive a chemical or biological attack? Maybe yes, maybe no. 60 Minutes Sunday.
The President of Colombia said today it appears Marxist-inspired rebels with drug connections killed an American agent and a Colombian soldier after they survived the crash of their U.S. government plane. The aircraft went down yesterday in the jungle 200 miles south of Bogota. 3 other American intelligence agents who were on board are missing, possibly captured by the drug-financed rebels. NASA said today it will investigate every possible cause of the searing heat that breached Shuttle Columbia's left wing, triggering its breakup 40 miles over Texas. NASA also released evidence of the emotions experienced by Mission Control itself that horrible day. CBS's Cheryl Atkinson has the story and the faces of a tragedy in progress.
The newly released NASA videotape shows the incredible strain and tension on the faces of Mission Control flight controllers as they began to realize the unthinkable had happened.
Columbia, Houston, comm check.
Their voices professional and unemotional as they tried again and again to talk to the lost crew.
Columbia, Houston, UHF, comm check.
The shuttle had already disintegrated over Texas, though most of America hadn't yet gotten the news. Flight Director Leroy Kane.
What I was doing right at that moment in time is I was saying a prayer. And then after I did that, I knew it was time to go and take the next step.
GC flight. Flight GC, lock the doors. Copy.
No phone calls, off-site, outside of this room, no data, no phone calls, no transmissions anywhere into or out.
Kane eventually succumbs to quiet emotion. But even then, duty required moving forward with recovery.
Marty, can you confirm that the DDMS folks in the Dallas area have been mobilized to the extent we're able to?
Yeah, RCC, the Rescue Coordination Center, is mobilizing to that area.
Tragedy for the astronauts and their families, also for the NASA flight controllers who could do little but watch. Cheryl Atkinson, CBS News, Washington.
Dolly, the cloned sheep, has been put to death. Scientists in Europe said they made that decision to spare Dolly any more suffering after she developed serious lung disease. Dolly was the first mammal ever cloned from an adult, and there were recent signs of abnormal aging, including arthritis. Sheep usually live about 12 years. Dolly was only 6. Coming up next here on the CBS Evening News, The Last Laugh, trying to lighten up about the news of the week.
Look, Roy, Jimmy's emailed us pictures from camp.
Way to go, Jimmy. That's my boy.
Hey, it's a picture from Jimmy.
Dude, we have to go to camp next year.
Looking for more expressive email? Introducing MSN 8. It's our best version of MSN yet with more exciting email. Switching is easy, and if you call now, you get 2 months free when you sign up. Find out why it's better with the butterfly. Call 866-TRY MSN 8 today.
When you run a restaurant, no matter what's on the menu, you're only serving one thing, taste. And if you can get great taste without the extra sugar, that's the best. That's why I use Equal. There's no aftertaste like with some sweeteners. You like rich, creamy cheesecake? I do. I make it at home too, and not with a half pound of sugar. I use Equal. Mocha Swirl. Great taste without the extra sugar. I love it. 0-calorie Equal. Have you tried it lately?
These things are amazing.
Saran disposable cutting sheets.
No more worrying about juicy, germy messes on my kitchen counters, in my restaurant, or at home.
They soak up the juicy, germy mess, then just toss the whole thing.
Disposable cutting sheets from Saran. Find them with other Saran products.
Imagine combining the stain-fighting power of Efferdent and freshening power of Listerine. You'd get Efferdent Plus. It's extra fresh, and nothing gets your dentures cleaner. Efferdent Clean, Listerine Fresh. That's Efferdent Plus.
When eyes get dry, scratchy, irritated, Visine Tears can soothe, moisturize, and protect like your own natural tears. And it's safe to use as often as you need. Visine Tears relieves dry eyes like your own natural tears. Pepperidge Farm Texas Toast.
Okay, I'll get the pasta bowl.
Hot, crusty garlic toast. Just 5 minutes to make. It's probably ready before you are. Pepperidge Farm. Never have an ordinary...
Flash flood warnings are already in effect for many counties in southern Middle Tennessee, and there's more rain on Storm Target 5, the latest at 6.
All the security warnings this week had a lot of people wringing their hands, and a few guys we know scratching their heads.
As you can imagine, the heightened alert has particularly affected New York, which overnight went from the city that never sleeps to the city that... Oh my God, what was that?
We're on an orange alert, and it's really paying off. They rounded up that stoned Dell guy.
Right.
Go out to dinner, take the subway, go to a movie.
Adding, because Lord knows we don't have much time left. The clock is ticking, people. Party!
Or today, Mom and I spent the entire day duct taping windows and stockpiling malt liquor, so we're...
Here's why I didn't buy duct tape. Do you really think they have chemical weapons stronger than living next to New Jersey? Do you really think so? I don't think so.
In case you're having trouble keeping track of who's with us and against us, here's a quick guide.
We have it. The smoking gun, the evidence, the potential weapon of mass destruction we have been looking for as our pretext for invading Iraq. There's just one problem. It's in North Korea.
Laughing even in tough times, part of the American tradition and part of our world tonight. Sunday on Face the Nation with Bob Schieffer, Homeland Security Secretary Tom Ridge. For the CBS Evening News, wishing you and those you love a happy Valentine's Day. Good night.
For news 24 hours a day, go to cbsnews.com. AOL keyword CBS News.
Find out what the best foods are for your heart on the Saturday Early Show. Experience CBS News.
From your news and information leader, this is News Channel 5 at 6 with Chris Clark and Vicki Yates.
Good evening. We were talking about snow on Monday. Tonight it's the rain.
And it is raining so hard in some places there is the possibility of flooding. Chief Meteorologist Ron Howes is in the Storm 5 Weather Center with a forecast of a very wet weekend.
Well, that's exactly what we're going to have to contend with, Chris. We've already had 2 inches of rain in Nashville, some areas as much as 4 inches of rain in southern Middle Tennessee. Storm Target 5 now showing that overall now back to the west of us, rainfall intensities are beginning to decrease a bit, so that's good news. We're still getting rain here in the Nashville metro area. Best description of it is moderate rain at this time. The southern counties of Middle Tennessee have seen most of the really heavy rain, and you see that's continuing to be the case. Flash flood warnings are in effect for these counties now: Bedford, Coffee, Giles, Grundy, Marshall, Murray, Moore, Van Buren, and Warren until 9 o'clock, and Hardin County back into West Tennessee until